I'll be giving you. Whatever it is you feel makes you good, makes you worthy, people have come to expect from you, write it down and say, hey, why? Why? Again, it's not a bad thing. You can ask yourself, why am I successful? The other day, we were talking about Black women. I'm sure many of you have heard that Black women are the most educated group of people, demographic in America. But do you know there's a brokenness that came from there? Having to prove that you are worthy. Oh, let me get this bachelor's. If I get this bachelor's, they will respect me. Where I am now in my office, I'm the only one with the master's. When I saw that everybody was a bachelor's, I'm like, no, in this office, they're going to respect me. I went for that. PhD, now you're answering doctor, still broken. Still broken. Self-sabotage will first come and tell you congratulations. But do you see yourself? You are still small? Oh my gosh. Okay. It's okay. Who's the next person?
Wow. I didn't even know how to go on next because I was still trying to figure out what we just spoke about. Oh my god. Okay, so I saw Lady Tomlinson's and
yeah, thank you so much, Matt, for that awesome insight.
Thank you, Lady Blessing. Lady Blessing is a twin, and I can't see her twin sister here.
For real, for real?
Yes, she is.
Oh, look at my test. It's right on here as well. Hey, Tess. Okay, Blessing, please send me you and your sister's picture. I definitely want to see.
Okay,
Illy has a professorial look. But she didn't come here to play. She came here to, master herself. Game face on. Okay, continue. Who's next?
All right, Lady Tomlinson, I saw your hand up.
Okay, and if you already went before and you have a question or a quote, can you put it in the chat, please? Okay, Tomlinson, sweetie.
Good evening, Mrs. B. Good evening, everyone, once again.
Where's your face?
My face is here.
Okay, because your line is breaking. It's okay. Tomlinson, the line is breaking.
I'm not sure if the lamp is not going to do justice now.
Okay,
can you hear
on,
me
please.
better?
Yes, it
okay.
Is.
I'll just share three quotes basically, or three parts of the book that really stood out to me. First one is, your life is defined not only by what you think about it, but also what you think of yourself. Your self-concept is an idea that you have spent your whole life building. It was created by piecing together inputs and influences from those around you. What your parents believed, what your peers thought, what became self evident through personal experiences, and so on. Your self image is difficult to adjust because your brain's confirmation bias works to affirm your pre existing beliefs of yourself. So when we self-sabotage, it is often because we have a negative association between achieving the goal we aspire to and being the kind of person who has or does that thing. And it really did stand out to me because most times when I want to do things, I ask myself, what would my brothers think? What would my daddy think? And it helped me remember when FF Future Forward Female, there was a session I was listening to in the house, and I was listening to it out loud. And my brother walked up to me and said, all this feminism thing that
what just happened?
Tell me, so when did Jesus get his sweet? It's breaking again.
And in that moment, I was going to shut down this for you. I'm doing this for myself. But I realized that this thing, can you hear me?
Everything from feminism we didn't hear.
Ma?
Everything from feminism we did not hear.
Okay, yes, I said that when he said all this feminism thing that you people
The devil does not want us to hear this, Jess.
do, at that moment I was going to drop my phone.
So we say it's still bad. If you can put it in the chat, that will be helpful. Because I know you're a writer. So it's breaking, eh? So if you can put it in the chat, that would be good. Who else?
Oh, my line is breaking it. Will someone else just go and I retry?
Oh, now it's good. Okay, just say the second quote. Just say the quote. Hello? Okay. Yeah, I should put it in the chat. I trust Tommy saying, but how many times are we wanting to be seen as a certain way? Whatever group we're in, sometimes people will be like, oh, yes, even though, I mean, people are like me, I still wear earrings, so I still wear earrings all that time. But guess what? In your mind, you're a rebel, right? But there are still many, 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 many things you still will not do. Even if you want to rebel, you just go near the edge. But you see, to completely come out of that box, there's going to take a lot of intentional, and that's the thing, it's the intentional working of it. You don't arrive at self-mastery through just being, except you were born in a utopia where your parents, your teachers, everybody validated, affirmed, and gave you just a blockbuster mindset. Even then, it might not be aligned completely with your identity. But that's inner work, of course, you will. You will. Even though you don't have all the psychological terms for it, you will do that work. Okay. So Thomason, if you're changing networks or restarting something, let us know. But let's go to the next person and then we'll continue. Ile, your face is in my eyes, so.
Lady Haley, we like to hear from you.
Okay. Hi everyone, good evening.
Someone to tell you good evening with sweet voice.
Good evening, Coach B. So good to see you.
Even better to see you, boo.
Okay, so I couldn't read the whole of the book, but I opted for a summary. And while I was listening, I was just reflecting on myself and trying to see the ways that I've been sabotaging myself, because when I'm reading books or listening to anything informative, I always try to make it personal. And I've noticed over time that one way that I find myself sabotaging myself is perfectionism, because the way I'm naturally wired, I'm sort of an all or nothing person. And it can be good in the sense that when I do something, I go all the way, but it can also be bad in the sense that when I feel like something is not
Somebody just
perfect.
notes that point, the way I'm naturally wired. Somebody just put it in the chat so that we don't forget it, because we'll come back to it. Because it's like she was there when God was making her. So it's okay.
I knew you were going to say
we're
that.
going to come
I
back
guess,
there. But
I guess what I
continue.
meant to say was my default personality
The way you have been
in terms
behaving.
of yes. So I find out that when I feel like I'm not going to do something as good as I imagine it in my head, I just back out altogether. And that really keeps me out of a lot of opportunities. And I was reading something one time which said that most women would not apply for a job until they think they are perfectly qualified. But men just go ahead with whatever little qualification they have, they go ahead and apply. And sometimes they get the job, but most of the time they get the job. But women often feel like we have to have this thing perfectly figured out. It has to be all perfect before we go for it. And it's something that I've been working on over time. And I know that this session is really going to be helpful to me in navigating through that. I could share a lot, but I don't want to take much of our time. Thank you, ma'am.
What is that? Let me tell you before. Say one more thing.
Okay, so another thing would be imposter syndrome. I notice that sometimes when I get certain opportunities, I just or I feel a looming fear that it's only a matter of time and you're going to mess it up. And I would like to give a personal example. There was this time I got an opportunity to volunteer with one of the agencies of UN. And as soon as I left the director's office, I was excited, but then there was just this fear within me that, oh, really, you're going to meet a lot of people at the top. It's only a matter of time they'll see your own limitation or what you're not good at yet, or the ways that you've not refined yourself. And I was like, what is this? Like, you just got a good opportunity. And instead of probably thinking of the ways that you can maximize it or you can expand your brilliance, and you're thinking of how you're going to mess it up. So I think that's one way to that I've seen self-sabotaging in my life.
I love that. I love the second one. We'll go from the second one to the first one. And I want Margaret, put something in the chat that relates to that because you had something similar as well. Put something in the chat that relates to that. Okay, so have you ever seen a child try to walk? Who has not seen yet? Let me be knowing who does not have younger ones. Eli, have you ever seen a child try to walk?
Yes, my nephew.
Do you see them caring what other people think?
No.
But even you know they are going to fall. You almost want to be like, don't you even have sense? Say you are 9 months. What are you trying to do? You can't walk now. But what do you see them do?
They stand back up and go at it again.
People think it's resilience. It's not resilience, so it's just growth. It's just the way somebody can come to you and be like, oh my gosh, wow, you're eating. And now you're on your 5th spoon. You're so resilient. Now 10th spoon. My gosh, what an example of a diligent person you are. What will you say? Bolu has something to tell the person. What will you say, Bolu? Because the things that amaze us, they're amazing too. What will you say, Bolu?
I'll keep wondering at first, like, what's happening?
Be honest, because as women, we're easily impressed. Oh my gosh, it's so true. She's so diligent. She's so this. This is supposed to be normal behavior. Normal behavior is that for a child to walk, they will first start trying, they will see examples, or they will just find out, okay, these limbs, what else can I use them for? They will now start trying. It's working, it's not working. They didn't say when I just put the soles of my feet, whenever they just touch the ground, I will just walk and I will just glide like an eagle. Do you see them making all those confessions? Because sometimes inside our confessions, our self-sabotage and our limiting beliefs, they are encoded within. I'm diligent. I will sit before kings and not me men. And what everybody is thinking is that once you sit before king, you are excellent in this life. In fact, you cannot make a mistake. Suddenly the anointing for perfection is upon you. Daniel made mistake. One time they will say, we'll kill all of you. Then we'll say, King, I don't know now, but can I just go and think about it? Daniel could have say, me that I'm praying morning, afternoon, evening, every day. Me and this my God of secrets, we are communing. I thought he would have even told me before this thing happened. That Daniel, look, this thing will happen like this. When the king says like this, say it like this, say it like that. Actually, he heard all his predecessors. That's what was happening with them. But he said, let me go and come back again. Peradventure, I might have an answer. So what is self-sabotage in that case? Self-sabotage is your brain trying to keep you safe. When your brain has looked at all your life, it's looking for the file of stretch. If it's looking for the file of stretch, brain can't find file of stretch. Even when you thought you were stretching in secondary school, you were not really stretching because you and all your age mates were what? Were you not all doing it together? There was really no, so you were not going out on a limb because it was everyone working together. So now in real life, you want to go, yeah. Your brain has looked around at all your friends. Joy, peace, love. Look for all the friends. No friend. All the friends, they are just calm where they are. In Diamond Bank. Is Diamond Bank still in Nigeria? It's not there again. Okay. They are just calm like that in GTB, in one small place that they posted them to in Ota, living their JJ life with their 2.5 children and their one husband and their 1.5 car. Then you now say you want to go to United Nations, but why don't you have sense? Your brain is like, let me tell you what your brain is saying. Your brain is saying you don't know what is there. This is what we know. And see now, this your brain, Ota didn't do anything. If you know, if every day you wake up and you're like, Ota is my dream, it's okay. But if you wake up and anytime you say how you're working in the GTB in Ota, you add explanation to it, self-sabotage is visiting again too. Because you are not saying it with your full chest. Because Bill Gates and his people, they entered the hinterland in Kano where there were no roads. And they were saying it with pride. We're reaching the world. We are curing polio with our vaccines. They did selfie inside the desert as they were sleeping under the moonlight. But we go to the village, we can't snap a picture. Then we just drive through Banana Island and quickly take a few shots. Do you see? Okay, I digress. So that thing that they call imposter syndrome is your brain drawing on files and making conclusions. That your brain is drawing on files, that your brain is taking in information is a wonderful thing. You're very self-aware. But that your brain, you allow your brain make its own conclusions. It's not being a police over your mind. You know, people say guide your heart, guide your mind. What they are saying is don't even let the information enter. No, that's not true. Is don't let it come out. Don't let it come out of you in a form that you don't want. You understand? With a conclusion. The fact is fact. You've been calling out your friend the last 2 weeks. Your friend has no answer. Wow. What happened? But it's not a conclusion. I've tried. After I've called 10 times. What if the person was kidnapped? You don't know. Anyway, so that imposter syndrome, I am getting to this place where I am becoming less understanding or accepting of imposter syndrome, because most times if you Google anything to do with imposter syndrome, they try to tell you how to work in spite of it. They don't go to the root of it. And the root of it is, why are you afraid to fail? Why are you? See, let me tell you, when I mess up sometimes with senior leadership, I think I'm cute. They say, oh, the 18 SDGs. And you say, I'm sorry, what are SDGs? That's cute. Because after they tell you, you won't forget again. Well, Ele is like, you say what? I don't know what? SDGs? Let the ground just open and swallow me. Let me be gone. Let me be obliterated from the annals of history. Let nobody see me again. Let God translate. I think I'm cute when I make mistakes. I'm like, oh my God, she's so cute. And you're so smart. So how come you didn't know that? And then I'm like, okay. And I feel like whatever rooms I enter, when I enter a room, I'm like, my gosh, this person's life is about to be so much better. Their conversation is about to become so much richer. I'm just thinking of the dimension I'm bringing. I'm not thinking, am I better than? Am I less than? Do I compare? No, I just bring such a flavor that no one else has. It's mesmerizing to be me. Look, if I were someone else, I would want to be my friend. I would want to have me on my team. As I'm saying all these things, do I look prideful? It's just the set of the way I process information, the way I think, the things I know. I just feel like it's so rich. So again, authentic leadership, which is one of the leadership theories we'll do, it'll show you that just you embracing who you are, not anybody, not how they do in the organization, the normal fit, who you are is value. They take it, they don't take it, it's still value. Do you know there are some people that, again, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has offered money that they say, no, we don't want. Do you know there are some people that Dangote has wanted to go into business with? They say, no, instead we're picking this Chinese company. Do you think he feels in any way diminished? Oh my God, did I say the wrong thing? The way I wrote this proposal. You think they feel like that? It's not a fit now. Abi? Or they now called him to come and be council of world something, will not be intimidated. Oh my gosh, see rich people all around me. You think it will be? I don't know why I'm using Dangote, but you guys understand what I'm saying. That's who he is. It's just different. It's just different. So when you start feeling imposter syndrome, ask yourself, why am I afraid to fail? Let me tell you, put in the chat, put it in the chat. Don't be afraid, put it in the chat. Say, I will fail. Don't say failure is only happens when you don't give up. Don't put all those things. I will fail. What is failure? Somebody put the Webster's definition of failure, because we have Christianized our life. Put Webster's definition of failure in the chat. Yes, Boo Boo. Who is it? Y'all, I'm coming. And when Bolu, help me read the meaning of failure there, and then say whether or not it has happened in our life before. Let everybody just say, has it happened in our life before? Even Jesus failed. How can Jesus go somewhere and say he cannot heal people? What's his did you not say you're son of God? Okay, hold on, I'm opening the door. Hold on.
Okay, so from the definitions I have here, I can see an omission of occurrence or performance, a state of inability to perform a normal function, an abrupt cessation of normal functioning. Okay, so I can boldly say that this has happened in our lives. Do you have anyone that has not experienced any of this? An omission or occurrence to perform. I don't think there is that possibility of not experiencing that feeling, even if you are still going to perform at the end of the day. But there is that omission that comes even from our thoughts, from our actions at times, that you are not up to this, you're not up to that. And that's why we're going to be kicking out self-sabotage in our lives. Yeah, it's a normal function sometimes, but there's the realization. When you realize that, yes, I can fail at this thing, you are not going to be self-sabotaging yourself and saying that, no, because I feel that this, I'm now a failure, this is who I am now, this is who I have become. So I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm hearing myself.
There's a quote in that book that even addresses it, that people try to look for. That quote that says that people that are already at the top, they don't care about such things. It's people that in between that are trying to see if they measure up or not. That people that are really successful they are not too concerned about those things. It's when you are in that level of attaining that success that you now begin to question why it should be so. I'm even trying to look for it. I think I wrote it down. Sorry, I'm not
There
sure.
was something like that in the book. I think I wrote it down too. Let me just read. There was a part that said you spend too much of time on people who don't. Okay, no. I don't think that's it. But I remember listening to that part where you just quoted, and it's very true. People that are above there, I used to tell myself that I know that many of them they will have their own weaknesses, they will have their own mistakes where they failed. In fact, it's not as if they've gone to those stages and have done rehearsals of greatness. For me to say that it's not as if they've done rehearsals of greatness or being at that space and seeing themselves as that person. But they take the bold step. They take the bold step. And I think there was one thing Mrs. Bralade was one example she was citing that when a baby picks the first step, is he afraid of falling? In fact, the baby keeps trying. Yes, the baby fails several times. Several times. We're not afraid of eating. We're not afraid of doing the normal things we do. When it now comes to the aspect of success, where we are supposed to be distinguished, where we're supposed to show up in our best version, we start having those feelings we call imposter syndrome. We start having the fear of failure. Am I really going to do well at this? Why? 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 It's a way of limiting ourselves, a way of pushing back that big dream inside of us. Because if it is inside of you, then you have the ability. Even if people are seeing it inside of, if people are seeing you as that person, then it means you're even much more than that. Because for them to see you in the light of greatness, there's so much inside of you that the world is expecting that we ourselves can put out for the world to benefit from. I'm going to be reading the chat section now. I think a few messages came in. Okay, Lady Margaret said fear of failure could be linked to a sense of identity, deeply linked to success. Dissociation from failure means that we will not truly enjoy life's experiences without the burden of the fear of failure. Very true. Like at every point of success, you start thinking of the fear of failure, right? That was the first quote in that on that Forbes blog post that Ms. Bralade sent was something like this. When they were saying, why is it when we get to the highest point, we start thinking, what if I fail? What if this thing doesn't work out? What if? And at that point, you will not even enjoy the success that comes with those kind of places. Okay, Lady Ivy says,
Okay, let me ask. So who has failed by this definition? By this definition, who has failed before?
I don't think there's anyone that.
Okay, in case you were thinking you have never failed before, let me ask you, are you walking or you're in a wheelchair? If you are walking, you have failed. Because go and ask your mother, you did not start walking on first try. You have failed.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying this is that the heavier your emotion, your emotional connection to a word is, whether positively or negatively.
Yeah.
That's when you start struggling with perfection. You start struggling with rejection. Call any Sean. With doubt. You start struggling with all these things because your confidence is based on your wins, not on your fails. So let me put it this way. If your confidence is not based on your failure, why should it be based on your success? Because those are two things. If it's based on your success, you will have perfectionism. But you'll be like, I'm excellent. What's your biggest fear in life? It's a fear of failure. And this thing, until you are in self-sabotage. All these your wins is just you trying to grapple with an identity. How can I hold on to this thing? Your body is telling you that come on, let's resign from this CEO position. You know that your passion is making brooms. You like when you go to Badagry, you see all the palm tree and this thing, you love the art. You have some new way you want to launch it in China and America as a sustainable way to make brooms. But no, you look at that success, look at your confidence. That I will go to broom. Then my confidence is gone. Come on, IB. Come on, hype me. That's it. So no, it's not based, my confidence is not based anymore on my success than it is on my failure. And tell yourself that. The next time somebody's be like, oh, have you noticed? You failed once, you failed twice, you failed 3 times. You should know that there's a law at work in you. You should know that this is the begin to pray now. Whatever I put my hands to do must be a success. Everybody pray, pray, pray. Ah. Ah. How will you? So now you can't even declare a business that is dead. You can't declare that business bankrupt. Because why? I have to stay on this image of this success. Okay, Margaret.
Please, I have something to say in regards to what you just said now.
Yes, Grace. Dr. Grace.
When thank you. So when is it's like a pattern, and I know it's not okay to start thinking maybe something is wrong somewhere, but we are in Nigeria, I mean, and then for some
What
reasons
does that sentence mean?
I don't know, like somehow you just start being like, is it your village people, or is there something at work that you really don't know? So one side you are so sure of the blood of Jesus and his power in your life. On the other side, so how do you go around not sabotaging yourself, especially when there are negative, repetitive patterns that are
First of all,
happening?
let's take that phrase, the blood of Jesus. If we ever prayed, and anybody starts talking about the blood of Jesus, I just stop right there. Like, I'm just like, when people finish praying, let me know. The blood of Jesus. As you're driving the car, blood of Jesus cover the wheel, blood of Jesus
Over
cover
the
the
road.
steering. We will finish the blood of Jesus as this rate. Cover the atmosphere, cover the air. We should bring the blood of Jesus
We
to can
cover
our
the
lungs
food with
possess
blood.
blood. Yeah? Blood of Jesus. So Jesus died so that his blood can begin to. Okay, sorry. As we were saying, Grace, how do you begin to? You see, when there is you know what is painful? What is painful is that it's people who have accepted the Lord Jesus Christ, and by virtue of that, receive the divine life and become hid with Christ in God. They are the ones who now become awakened to negative forces. If we ever think of negative forces, let it be that we are trying to deliver somebody. We're trying to deliver a nation. We're seeing systems and the way the devil is moving, and we're like, okay, this is how we will combat it. But your life, no go area. No go. There are some people, they cannot eat what was offered to any idol. I can eat it. There's nowhere. If you take me to, what's that place in the Oshun Shrine? I can go there. I can walk through, oh, they are worshiping, they are doing incantation. I'll be like, oh, wow, okay. That's it. This is the food they gave. Don't touch it. Oh, hey, if you do like this, and they'll tell you the demons, they have different levels of power. They have, So your own life, first of all, is untouchable. Your own no is untouchable. And how did the Bible say that deliverance will come? Through knowledge. Through knowledge shall what? Complete that scripture.
Shall the house be
Through
built?
knowledge shall the just. Okay,
Shall the
you have to
house
write
be
the
built?
Psalms. Through knowledge shall the just. Who knows that one? Shall the just be delivered into the inheritance? Can somebody even put that thing in the chat? Let me know whether I mean, search for the exact this thing. Put it in the chat. Through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Knowledge shall the just be delivered into the inheritance. I used to be in a healing ministry. We would see so many healings and so many things. I don't think people realize sometimes just how easy it is for people to lose their healing. The first time I saw it, we tested this girl. This girl had never spoken from when she was born. She was deaf. Like they profoundly deaf. That's the word they use. She started counting. She started, if you ask her, she used to do lip reading, so you could see that even her voice, it kind of had, because her speech was not sharp. She was hearing everything as they were repeating it. She was just saying. After 1 month, the gate man, used to be the gate man of our fellowship place, he now came back and said that she's not hearing again. I mean, she's not hearing again. And no, my brain, everything just confused. Say what again? People have left their wheelchair. Come back in 6 months, they have bought another wheelchair. So no matter how potent the power that comes is, it cannot sustain except you get the requisite knowledge to buttress it. That's why when people say that, oh, if you're not born again, you will be a failure. Like, have we not seen that disproven several times? Haven't we? It's just not true. Oh, how do you want your marriage to be? If you're not born again, if you're not a virgin, if you're not this thing. But there have been some settled married out there. We should sit down, interview them, and take notes. Because it seems like when these are born again husband, we cannot stop quarreling. They're principles, they're available. And of course, they are not the kind of purpose that the godly couple came together to achieve. You can say, of course, that's kingdom versus the others. But we're just talking about simple civility. So if we're not there, we're not there. I don't even know how I came to this point. So basically, and I'll give you some videos. Kunle Sorion, he had a whole conference in Lagos last year to talk about this. And so many pastors told their people they should not go near him. Because what he came to do was to dispel the myths, to dispel the village people thing. I'm not saying that they are not there, but there are some people he works for, there are some people he does not work for. Even before the gospel came, there are some people they will tell you that in this community, that man, every juju we have thrown at him does not work, but we don't know his own juju. The human spirit is one of the most impenetrable, invincible. If your spirit is strong, they will just say that, oh, this one spirit is strong. It's not there. So no, if the devil had his way, you will not be breathing grace. That is where you are sitting down now. You just be like, You will not even, if he had his way, he will not be doing it small. No, it's because power is not available. And then the agreement is not there. It requires your agreement. It requires your agreement. And where is the battlefield?
In the mind.
In the mind.
In my mind.
In that same mind. So this thing we are doing now is a spiritual exercise. Because the light that you have gotten, nothing can remove it. They should blow it in the night. They should blow it in the morning. Nothing can remove it. That's what gives you the power. Margaret, did you say something in the chat? Did I miss it? because we didn't do that second part, did we?
I'm not sure which part. I've
Okay.
typed a couple of things. I'm not sure which you're referring to.
Yeah, just writing, writing. Okay, good. So this natural personality, right? This my wiring, this my, all these things. Um, I want you to see yourself again as just a blank specimen and just go and question everything you think you know. Just be like, when everybody says you're like this, you're like this, you're like that. Because some people tell you, even I teach it sometimes, if you want to know your real identity, you want to ask people, how do I show up? And ask your parents. Or that you can only do that after you are whole, when you are not your broken self. That's when it will work. Because when you are presenting fake, and when I say fake, people think fake is a manipulative, deliberate thing. No. When how you are, you know that inside you want to say this thing, but you're having to suppress your real self and things like that. When people give you feedback, they will tell you of that other side. Or they will tell you that part of, again, your grandmother that you had inside you. What that your math teacher told you don't know math. And you have been repeating till tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow because it has stopped today. You have been repeating till today. My numbers are not really my thing. I'm a writer. You know, I'm actually a writer because when people say I'm a writer, they think that it then excludes every other gift. If you're good at one, then you're not good at the other. You've collected it. You introduce yourself as it. You just, how can you then? People be like, but if I'm not good, I'm not good now. I know what I'm saying. I had F. So yeah, just like I can't even argue. Yet people who studied philosophy in Nigeria go to America. They say nursing is a good job. Do they do it or do they not do it? Somehow they managed to pass anatomy and physiology, and they did not bribe the lecturer. Be afraid of human beings. You just be like, where did you collect this thing from? You that say you cannot do this thing, or you could not pass without sorting. You now went to Harvard. You're actually able. Wow. Okay, I'll take two more and we'll close our session for today. But I need you to write, and maybe Tomisi, I'll ask you to pick something that you want to share in the group, something that you've written, because Tomisi has been going on a treasure hunt. Tomisi has been questioning her life. Now, questioning does not mean that thing that you do every December where you beat yourself up and you say where you are supposed to be in your life, but you have not reached because you are having coin. It's not that time. Asa, who knows what Asa means in Igbo?
Beauty.
Oh, who said that?
Angel.
Margaret.
Maggie. You're on point. You're on point. Because people don't know, they're just looking at her faith. They don't know that she's actually a beauty. Asawa, baby. They are wondering, like,
thank you, ma. I'm shy.
You that you call yourself that name, you now say you're shy. Why?
When you are hyping it, ma, majority of us here do not know the meaning of the name, and the way you are singing with it, Asawa.
Uju, Obian Uju. In fact, it's okay. Let me not show myself. Because you can't handle it. It's not because I don't want to show. But one of the things she said is take it small. Do you remember that? Who remembers that?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that.
You remember what? What did she actually say?
Okay, so I'm going to just go to the
She
what I
said
wrote
that
down.
changes do not come in breakthrough, but in
Minds.
Minor. Because if you don't do your brain like that, your brain will be like we're not doing it. I refuse. We must come back to comfort zone. Okay, Faith, say what you have to say.
I'm sorry, ma. I'm not saying anything.
So first, you have not read the book.
I'm saying, ma, I'm not saying anything. You are asking, what did he say? That the progress does not come in.
Okay,
You
Faith,
said
in
something.
your book, when we finish, go and put in the group something, a quote that you saw and what it told you. That's your own personal assignment.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You know what is today? Yeah. The one day who talk is inside, like you know, the words are here. You and this mouth does not lack what to say, which I love so much. The doctor want to ask about healing. Talk to me, doctor.
Yes, ma. There was a statement that in the book that said that healing will only start when we are ready to start feeling what we are afraid to feel. And the statement really stood out for me. So I just wanted you to like talk on it again.
People are afraid of crying. Somebody's father died, mother died. People, the first thing people say is, "What? Don't do what?
Be strong. Be strong.
Don't
Don't cry.
cry. Look at your mother. You have to be strong for her."
It happened with me when I lost my brother. They told me that
Wow.
don't cry. You have to be strong for your parents. So if you dare cry and they go, then I think in a few months I lost my dad, and then they were like, be strong for your mother. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be strong. I'm strong. And yeah, I kept being strong, but thankfully I did not break. So I now pushed myself into activities. And there was something the lady also said. I don't know if the book where it was said that
Being busy.
part of why some of us are very busy is because we're probably running away from something.
Yeah.
And that's been 2 years now. I don't know whether I'm still running away from it, but I know that deep down the pain can still get
Then
fresh when it's
let me ask you: if your leg got broken, they're not putting a cast, they're not putting bembe, but everything shy heals. But now you're walking with a limp. But you're not feeling any pain again. No, you're even getting used to it. In fact, you've told shoemaker to start making you special shoes. There's a way they match. You even tell people I'm naturally like this. Have you seen my shoes? This how my shoes have to be made this way. You have now embraced that identity. Somebody now say your leg is bent. You should come, let them break it again. So that you can hear right this time. How many of you agree? In fact, let's not
But
even use you. Let's use your
the
friends.
default answer will be leave it like this. It's okay. Let's manage
because
this.
what's the chance that it will heal
Really good
properly if
girl,
you
though.
break it
She has the
again?
guts to come and tell me to come and break my leg. This is why people in this life are wicked. People in this life are wicked. In this life, all of us are managing ourselves. In this life, all of us know what's broken in our lives. In this life, this is there. There's somebody who just come and say, come and go and break your leg again so I can walk. So she walking straight. Well, are we talking about that leg? So we get this coping, and if you said this in certain circles, they will clap very well for you and applaud you for being strong for your mom. And even likely start to leverage those things you did in the time of their own griefs. In the times of their own grief. They'll start to leverage it. Oh, see what Grace said she did. She joined the fellowship, started leading the worship team, be like pastor. So I started leading this worship team. I just find that I'm not thinking again about my dad. I'm not thinking again about my brother. It's just that everything just went away. Every time I come to rehearsal, that life just feels so far. What will people do?
Spiritual.
You now come back one day and tell the pastor that, I'm actually feeling griefful. I want to just take this weekend off and just really, let me just be in God's presence. Let me just cry and just be okay. What would they say? What would they say?
You are breaking down. They'll say you have started breaking down. Maybe you are no more spiritual.
So they rush to rescue you. They rush. Oh my gosh, follow up people, go stay with that grace. Don't let that this thing. People surround her with your love. Tell her nice words. Encourage her, encourage her, encourage her. What will happen? Grace will close that door again. And she's closing it. You know when you have to push the door so that the thing is inside. You quickly lock the door so it does not push the door. Did they go away? No. So if you need to cry, cry. Let me tell you the problem that I have with people crying sometimes is because the crying itself now becomes comfort zone. The crying now becomes the identity. Oh, yeah, feel this thing once. Allow yourself go through the cycle. You will never forget. Oh. But if you are still raw, there are some people now, they just mention my dad. They still go back to that exact same place because the healing has still not completed. Then there are some people now be like, oh no, I'm over it, I'm over it. You and your friend argue. As you are trying to talk about it, say, no, 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 that thing has passed. It was yesterday's thing. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Danger, danger. The light is doing like this. Even in marriage, the light is doing like this. The day of the resentment becoming catastrophic, even you be like, what did I do? I just did this thing. You just reacted. People like, that's overreaction now. You don't know that everything was just mounting small, 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 small. So healing for me is your responsibility. It's your responsibility. Cindy Trim said something. She said her personal relationship with God. She does not play with it, and she does not let anybody else into that space. If your spirituality, your pastor can explain everything. Everybody around you can explain everything. You cannot receive a word of prophecy or rhema without your inner circle knowing everything, without needing to share on social media, without this thing. It still you're having, you are still not fully whole. You don't know who you are without other people. So when it comes to healing, give yourself space as an individual, first of all. And then you can be the supportive daughter to your mom, right? So maybe you will not sit down in front of your mom and start rolling on the mud everywhere and screaming, but you are going to grieve at your own time with yourself, how you want. If you need people around you, you can invite those specific people you want. But you see, grieving, you must allow yourself to heal. If your leg has been broken and you have been walking with that limp, you have to be strong or be this person since then. Let me tell you, your future generations will thank you for it. This is why we perpetuate. Now, this generation maybe still able to cope a little bit. By the next generation, the ramifications is like boom, boom. It's because of all of that. You don't want to commit suicide. Then you'll be talking about a high level. Now they're talking tears. But if you raise people like that with the brokenness without getting healed, their own will be a lot more. Okay, you guys, I have guests, so let me take one more. Maggie.
Yes, please. Good evening, everyone. Once
Oh,
more.
but I have to take you one day now. So when you finish, Margaret, you one day you go.
Okay, so my question is a little personal. So how can I be confident yet still have self-sabotage? Like I'm very aware, like some of these maxims and things. I know I really believe that I can do anything. I really believe that even if I don't know how to do something, once you put me in the room or on the table, I can contribute. But somehow,
Mhm.
even with that mindset, I still find that in other areas, I allow self-sabotage, like I overthink. But I know that I can do it. But
Yeah.
I'm
So are you
doubting,
doing
can I?
it in
But
the midst of the overthinking, or are you completely like shutting down?
I don't really understand the question.
So like self-sabotage, right, is limiting yourself
Mm-hmm.
from being, doing, having something.
Okay.
So in this your process of overthinking, is it while you're still moving or has it hindered you from being or doing or
It
having?
has. I think okay. This is happening when I'm stationary. So I'm sitting here. I want to apply to a job. I know I can do it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, how am I sure I can? But a part of me is confident, but another part is still
Mm-hmm.
in doubt of that.
Yeah.
But deep down, I know, like I think I fought over a lot of negativity in
Yeah.
my life. So at this point, I know I can do it. There's nothing that is hard. I can try. But at the same time, I'm the same person that would now think and say, I really
So what
don't
does
know.
confidence
And then
mean to you? Do you feel like confidence mean that this job, I deserve this job, and I'll do a banger job if they give it to me? What do you think confidence mean? What would your confidence, if you were fully confident, what would you say?
uh really, I think true confidence really is in action. Now we talk about it. It's not really in what you say. I think it's in what you do. But then I think that I think and talk as though I would do it, but I'm not doing it.
Okay. Okay. So there's also another level of brokenness is overconfidence, right? People who they don't have a a reasonable awareness of themselves. You have some friends who are like, I'm the best, I'm the this, I'm the that. And you're like, actually, you're actually not,
And no, I don't think
right?
that's me.
No, not
I
you,
don't.
right? I'm talking about the extreme. Because when people
Okay.
think of confidence sometimes, what they are measuring themselves up to is, if I were
Mm-hmm.
confident, this would be my mindset.
Yeah, so true.
But confidence is just the ability to show up as yourself and to aspire and allow yourself, do you know what I'm saying? It's like you're allowing yourself, you're building yourself a ladder to aspire and to dream and to become. So if you are not living side by side, if your confidence is not living with growth, is that one-eyed man being king in the land of the blind. You don't even know that there's a world where people have two eyes. Because in that world, we used to be confident, where you are now the one with the impairment, right? So discomfort, you looking at this thing and say, this thing is for executive VPO. So far, I've not even led a team. I've not done management. How will I do it? How will I be? What are some of the things? And that's why a confident person starts out with a healthy assessment of their chances. Your chances can truly be 20%. It's a true thing. Confidence does not say, no, I knew, even though my chances were 20%, I knew that I would still get the job. That's not confidence. That's like
Yeah.
yourself. When your head now is the brick, you're like, I'm never trying again. So, yes, you should be able to hold yourself back and be like, hey, wait, what am I doing here? Is this okay for me? Will I have it? If they give me this job now, can I do it? So that doesn't negate that you're a confident person. It just means that you are assessing. Now, if when you have frozen yourself, it's a pattern that you freeze yourself out of opportunities, then that's when I'll be concerned. But your confidence should not be based on whether you win again or lose. All those things, they are just it's like kalu. When you are doing what they call those games on your phone, Candy Crush, you're like, hey, what will I get next? Is it yellow ball? Is it blue ball? Okay, if I get blue ball, I'll put it here. But if it's yellow, I'll put it there. And if it just comes green, purple, and this, I know that the game will be over. I'll start again.
Okay.
You don't say, oh my gosh, how can I fail this thing? People who are highly skilled, they have done like this. No. It's just you facing life's challenges as they're coming and doing what you will with them. Some I fail, some I succeed. But I know that generally who I am is a success. Who I am is God's dream brought to this world, a person of value. So you start from there. That's where you proceed from. So all these failures, success, you think now, if some people go to hell, God will think it's a failure. Yeah, it's part. If some of you say, oh, my children, they must know God. I cannot lose anyone. Some people lost one child and they used it to change the world. That testimony, they used it to as an intervention for whole nations. The woman is like, I prayed, but I had faith. But And we can't go past it now. We won't pray again. Well, God didn't answer the other one now. So no, he has done his part. God is the most secure person on earth. He's not even moved, safe. I mean, he's moved, so he speaks to us, and do you understand? But if you still say no, we're not going to go to heaven and God will be crying. We're not, it's not going to happen. I hope you know. What about the others? Oh, even after, was the sacrifice of my son not enough? What else could I have done? Okay, I hope I'll be able to answer that small. Okay, you one day.
Lady B, please, one more, please. It's a short one. You may want to just gloss over it though. You've said a lot about showing up and being your authentic self and not bringing your voice down. But where's the balance with, in quotes, proper behavior? So if I feel like shouting at somebody, where does self-control and proper behavior come in, vis-a-vis expressing my true feelings or opinions?
Feelings are very good. I mean, they tell you what you like to do. In fact, sometimes in my mind, if I already finished all the shouting. In my mind, I do on my eye like this. But it's like, who I am is not a shouter. Who I am does not go on the streets and embarrasses people. Again, is that understanding of who you are. Who is who you are? There are some people, they will insult you very well on the road. They will seem to have won the fight. Are you confident enough to take that high road? Who you are does not negate how you feel certain times. So the balance of proper behavior should not be to the standards and norms of a society or an organization or an institution like the church. It should be to who you are, who you aspire to be. What's that next version of yourself? What do you want to grow into? And many times when we want to be better, we think that what we were was bad. No, we are not going from bad to good. We're just on the continuum of good, better, best, and on and on and on. So that balance, only you determines it for yourself. But I guess if Jesus was thinking of balance, he wouldn't have overturned those tables. And those tables needed to be what?
Overturned.
That's it. What was the balance there? Be like it's not good what the people are doing. But the tables they need, they're breaking, scattering. Okay, you want it. Yeah, we.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so I'm just I'm just in that space where I'm feeling emotionally detached to everything. Especially to how would I put it? I don't know. I'm just in that space where I'm feeling detached, right? So I started to leave so many groups because I felt that I wasn't being treated a certain way that I felt, is how would I put it? Okay, so I felt that those people were kind of people that were like, this person is this kind of person, this person has achieved this, person has achieved that. So they should be treated in a certain way. Yeah, I found it offensive at first, and it kind of made me feel very bad. But after a while, I just kind of felt okay. So maybe this place is not my space and something. So I started to leave all of those places, but I couldn't leave a particular one because I was holding a role, and I felt it would be bad to leave. Um, to leave at this time. That I would just wait till my tenure is over and then leave. But I no longer feel that connection that one would feel together as a community. And I started to feel that it's not even about those people too. It's about the fact that it has to be even my family. So I heard on Friday that my cousin is getting married, and the Ashwebi is one price that didn't make sense to me. Number one, I'm in that phase of life where I'm not going to spend that kind of money on Ashwebi ever, ever. And I started to feel like exactly the way I felt with those communities that I felt emotionally. Please excuse me. Something's wrong.
They will let you be great in Jesus'
Get out of
name.
here.
Yeah, well,
Out.
is it my king?
I think I said that. Ma, please,
Don't worry, I can speak to where you are. I can speak to where you are right now. How many of you saw Rita Dominic at Real Worry Pickens' wedding? Don't pretend you did not see that wedding. Because I know you have been scrolling on IG. Damilola is clear. But I'm my church secretary. What are you talking about, Mama?
I did
Real Worry
see.
Pickens is also born again.
I
How many
saw
of
the
you saw
wedding.
Rita
I didn't see
Dominic? Did you see Rita Dominic or not?
I
Answer.
saw the wedding,
I
but I
did
did
not
not
see
see
it.
Mr.
I
Dominic.
didn't see Rita.
Anyway, Rita Dominic did not wear the Ashwebi. Rita Dominic wore the color of the Ashwebi. If now that person was somebody you knew among your friends, you'd be like, why did you buy the Ashwebi? Oh, maybe, she has been going through a hard time. You even say it with understanding. She's teaching in that primary school. They don't really pay much. So, I really understand. But let's not make her feel bad. No, it's all love. Everybody's at different places in their life. But who do you think would have seen Rita Dominic and they would have said that kind of thing? Or maybe you won't wear the Ashwebi, and you one day, I'm not saying this is you, but maybe you won't wear the Ashwebi and you show up, you'll not be like, the Ashwebi, the time they came was late, you not start explaining. But if you wear Rita Dominic, you just show up, you don't even explain. In fact, you may have even bought it and you don't like it. And you just keep it because, you don't want it to help support. Maybe even gave it to your mom or somebody, be like, your sister, be like, do you like this lace? Oh, yeah, you can have it. Don't worry, I'll just wear my yellow dress. Even gave her money said to sew a killer style. So the stories that are behind our actions are sometimes more important than the actions. The stories. Leaving WhatsApp group, it's a neutral action.
Mom, sorry, can I interrupt you, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
That was just the journey. That's not. I'm just trying to create a build up, and I apologize to everyone for that interruption.
I apologize to that boy too.
I'm not going to have this, and
Yes,
they always do this. They always do.
yes. Okay, let me say the same thing you did before. Why are you in my room? Oh, I just wanted to do. Do you remember me? What did I tell you before you came in? You said you are in a meeting. You should not come in. Are you a good listener? I thought you told me you were a good listener. Yeah. Can you leave, please? If you come back in this room again, maybe it will be about a 1 hour timeout. If that's your choice, feel free to come back in. You get to choose. Okay. But I know it was long, but maybe if you want to do the short version, leave, please, and don't come back until I ask you to. Thank you. Let me shout for my boy. Get out. After one day, one small girl, not get out. You'll be like, is it my son you are talking to like that? My son's wife, man. If you see her head, sorry, it's not you. Don't worry. You'll marry an angel like me. You want to, oh, you are finished.
Okay, ma'am. No, I was just.
Bolu, sorry, let me finish. Bolu, you have to open a group for this self-sabotage. We'll close it after the next 4 weeks when we finish. But you have to open a group because I think we're going to do ongoing sessions inside the group as well, because I see hands raised and I want to take those questions. I'll take them as voice notes within the group. You want okay, land at your question. I want to address your question.
Yeah, so I've always dealt with that feeling that people always, or maybe always deal with me based on where they perceive that I am in life. And I'm always like, it didn't make sense. And that's why I actually left those because I felt they were kind of hypocritical. They are, well, yes, not that I think they are all this rubbish carcass thing. And I'll be like, so that was why I actually left, because if I'm adding value and you're only seeing me in terms of how much money I'm able to drop or how much influence you think I have at a particular point, that, excuse me, this is just a point in time in my life, and this is not the end, or this does not mean this is the best that I will be. So I always have that thing that I feel like, people always judge me in terms of where I am in life, and they do not really see, how would I put it? Anyway, I always
What's
feel
your
that they usually
question?
judge. So my question now is, I really want to be able to move ahead without not caring whether family sees me certain way or not. I just want to be able to do my thing and just move on. And how can I navigate this? Especially, being the fact that I've been in a certain place that I am not at this time, and I just feel maybe I kind of maybe I'm late on so many things, or maybe I've lost time or lost speed on certain things. I really just want to get ahead of that place and not allow those things hold me back, make me feel this feeling of guilt or regret or something like that.
When people disrespect us in the areas of our insecurities, oh, the pain is like labor pain. Who has had labor here? That means like you have born before. If you are insecure about something, this one knows they have been insulting you since you were in primary school. Somebody that say, hey, it's like your nose. Yes, what about my nose? What? Say it. No, I was just saying that. No. Say it. They say, no, there's just something, there's a white something. Okay. Okay. I thought you were going to. What did I say that lets you think that it was the size of the nose? So there's a place that you aspire to be. There's a person that you are not yet manifesting.
Mhm.
And when people do what they do, because people being people will misbehave.
Mhm.
Sometimes they will behave, sometimes they'll misbehave. It's a given, right? You will see it through the filter of that thing, that sore place that you're either working on or you have an insecurity about. And it will so many times be aligned with the value you already have. And sometimes it might reflect the judgment that you are inflicting on yourself. When you look at yourself, this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not where. I have a friend, she means the best. And she'll be like, brother, I don't understand what you are doing. We are supposed to be millionaires by now. We are supposed to look at your brain. Hey, look at your brain, look at my brain. Hey. Don't tell me we should feel okay. No, I will just be smiling like that. Hey, leave me alone. If I were with somebody else now, we'll have more money because they'll be hustling. And I say, I'm not going to hustle for any reason. So now you say you are fine where you are. Are you say no? Answer me. Are you saying you are fine where you are? I say, I'm content with much, with little, but it does not also stop me from growing, right? But if somebody were to tell her now anything about money, she won't. But me, you tell me, you don't tell me, unmoved. So, the level of pain, look at it, is it commensurate? There are many WhatsApp groups now you even want to leave. The messages are too many. You just be like, I want to mute this group. I can't. But it's nothing personal. It does not reach the inside. I always say there's a place within me. I don't allow man. Man cannot, it's impenetrable. It's a fortress. Man cannot reach it because that is the place of my ultimate vulnerability and communion with God. So even this my earthly vulnerability, when I'm vulnerable to you, let's say I tell you a secret, Yes, I tell you a secret, it's supposed to be a secret, but you tell it to the world. I won't be devastated. Did I trust you? Yes, I trusted you. and you told somebody, maybe I didn't want you to tell somebody else, yes. Maybe it's a little embarrassing, yes, but like, I'm not about to die. But that place within me, that like, oh my God, I'm destroyed. I can't tell anybody. That's reserved for God. But at the same time, I'm not protecting myself. Do you see? It's not about actions. So when people behave, you just kind of see them, hey, yeah, that's who this person is. I wish they were different. To treat people like that because of this, oh, that's not very nice. But you're moved. It doesn't touch you where people aren't supposed to touch. Again, many times when women say, me, this is why I protect myself. No, if you are still actively trying to protect it, there's still brokenness, there's still work to be done. All right. So I would say this: leaving WhatsApp groups, they are not an issue. But even after you left, there was still a residue of those emotions. That means if you look at my IG, I did a reel one time. I said, by the time I bring a matter to anybody, I've already dealt with it with them. And when I'm there staying, but Bolu, you did like this. Bolu, you were supposed to do like this. I'm going to be like, Mom, so sorry because of this. I'm not devastated. I just want her to be better. Or I'm like, how can we do things better? Or what do I need fixing? I'm not moved. It's like, say, fix yourself. Ma, is the way you talk, I'm not even moved. I'm like, coming for feedback. I'm willing to receive any side. So if you think that's not a group that your values align with, or if you feel free to leave. In fact, feel free to leave or feel free to stay, but in a way that it does not impact who you are. You just see those people for who they are. Do you know that many times now in this day and age, a lot of rich people, they feel so victimized because people are always like, this person, they stole like this. In fact, you give, it's still not enough. You give, that's when people will insult you more. We're doing family contribution in my larger family group. After somebody came back, oh, please, let's not be posting the amount people are giving, because it's like somebody is telling on how much, we give one, even if we give 10 million, how much? And guess what I love about my family? You give 1 million, no, you give 5,000. Our names are on a list, it's on a continuum. We put the list. Nobody comes and says, hey, I don't want my own to be shown because it's too much or it's too little. No, it's a family. So yes, one day, at the end of the day, everything I've said is not addressing you specifically, but everything I'm saying as we close is that there's more work within, not on this topic, as in not like on this particular group, but regardless, because you enter groups tomorrow now. In fact, Bolu just sent one now. Before now, Ele will go and say something inside the group. You'll be like, they told Ele to come and continue where they stop. And you guys, if you notice, I'm not afraid to call any of your name. I'm not even sorry, because in this life, one thing that is guaranteed is you make mistake. If you have a new friend, tell them, what will you do when I upset you? It's inevitable. Oh my gosh, you upset me. I will. It will happen. What will you do? How do you normally like to fix things? Things I'm trying to be careful so that I don't upset anybody. It's inevitable. It will happen. So, one day, we'll continue. Any question you have, I want you to marry it with a quote from the book. Because if you are not writing and putting things from the book, you are not reading. If you are not reading, you are not expanding. This is a work that you don't do by the side. And that's why, if you notice, this one, I did it differently than all the others. If you are interested, hit somebody up and this thing, because it will be like indictment against you if you truly just hear it and waka pass. If who you are tomorrow is not this thing, no. A quote from the book, not from the group. Oh, Bolu, what do you put? Okay. So success and faith. Okay, success. Just say.
Okay,
You have 1 minute.
okay,
You and faith.
okay.
You both each have 1 minute, and I'll answer
Okay,
anything.
okay, ma. My question is all about fear and self-sabotage. So, self-sabotage is something that is stopping you from getting your success, getting to your success. And fear, like my question goes this way: how can you identify fear and the differentiate
No,
fear
self-sabotage
from
doesn't just
self-sabotage?
limit you from success. It limits you from failure too. And sometimes you might need that failure so that you can, so that something in your life can fulfill purpose. It's all like a pot of soup. Some things will be bitter, some things will be sweet. They will all balance. So if self-sabotage limits you in any way, whether good, whether in a bad way, whether no, it's not good. Some mistakes we are supposed to make it.
Okay, ma.
Okay,
So,
continue.
ma, the thing is that is fear. I'm just actually deliberating on fear. Aside from the self-sabotage we have been talking about, fear, like the fear of doing something you want to do. You know that you need to do this, but you are afraid of maybe you might fail or maybe you might not do it well. So that's the issue. Like, you know that you need to do this. This is the right thing for you to do. But the fear of failing, based on what you said earlier, that our failure is good, is beautiful. You have to accept it, and what will I say? You just have to accept it.
Yeah.
So
So
my
let me
thing.
ask you. Okay, conclude your question. You say
Okay,
1 minute now. You are going
sorry,
far.
man. Sorry, man. Sorry, man.
Okay.
So the question itself is that how can I get rid of the fear to be able, aside from the self-sabotage, to be able to do the needful? Aside from the self-sabotage,
Bolu knows what I'm about to say. Bolu, what do you think I'm about to say?
Yeah, very
Talk quick now. What's all this laugh?
The 1 minute is already gone.
Oh, that's why you're laughing. Okay, fear is not going anywhere. If you see a child that does not have zero fear,
Yeah, that's true.
will you not be concerned? Zero, that is the child, everything, they don't put their hand, they just do. And then if you see a child that is frozen because of fear, they don't want to try anything, what will you say? Yeah, if you don't have fear, you're not going. And when I say have, not that you should have it. But if nothing is scary about what you are attempting, you should not be attempting it now. You know we're leading ladies. We do attempt small things.
Yeah.
Come on, Damilola is like that's why somebody form a song for us. But yeah, so if the thing you are attempting, there's nothing that the average person will be afraid of. No, it's not your area of growth.
Okay.
And it will not stretch you, it will keep you in comfort zone.
So what
Think
you're trying
something
to say
about
that
what
fear
you're
is
about
not
to
bad.
attempt. Huh?
I know what you're trying to say is that being afraid of something you want to do sometimes is not bad. It means that you are trying to take the step for the greater height.
So fear might be there, right? Fear is not yours. And that's the thing. We want to personalize what is the environment around us. If we go outside and it's snowing, does it mean that you are cold? You are not cold. It's the environment that is cold. Yes, you might feel cold, but it's not your own. It's outside. If you enter another atmosphere that is warm, what will you feel? Warm. It's not your own. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. You are not afraid. You are not a fear is not a part of your DNA. Does not mean that you won't feel it. So yeah, the only thing you need to do, make sure you're in a company of people who are attempting big things. It's a way to bridge that gap. And emotional intelligence does not deny what the prevailing conditions are. The truth is that if you enter that business and you lose the money, it's going to be a huge loss to you. Will you die? No. Will it break you? No. Will it hurt? Yes. Emphatically, yes. You learn some lessons? Yes. If it
Yes,
succeeds, will
Lord.
you be happy? Awesome. So yes, fear it will remain, but change the languaging around fear. You don't have fear. It is
Thank you very
scary.
much, ma'am.
You can feel it, but it's not your own. Okay, success. Quick.
Thank you,
Hey,
ma'am.
Bolu, I have to leave in 4 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the opportunity. So I'm in a place where I feel like I have a mix of operating, perfectionism,
Come on,
and
Bobo. People that read, they are showing.
It's connected.
no. Okay, so this is where I feel like I am. I'm at that
Can
point
you
where
put yourself on mute, please?
Okay,
Thank you. Okay.
okay, so I'm at that point where it feels like where I am is not exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I know it very well. And then I try this new thing, and before you know it, I don't feel that how do I put it? I don't get to complete it. That's just the word. Let me just put myself on the spot. It's like I don't get to complete it. And sometimes the willpower comes, it comes as a surge. I know I am supposed to do this. I know I'm supposed to complete this course. Like I want to transit from my current field to the social impact space where I take on projects and all of that. And I know that I need to complete a project management course, for example. I need to do all of these things, but I just go on, and then at some point I relapse. And it began to stand as permit me to use the word stronghold, to the point that even for the new thing that I'm supposed to start now, I now give myself an excuse that I would fail at it. So it's not perfect enough, it's not good enough, I'm just like, I don't. Yeah, that's just it. I need you to
ask me. I want you to phrase a question. What is your question?
Okay. So how do I come out of this not being able to stay true, on a course to the very end? Like
Damilola now say web. Damilola, is there a spider spinning a web around that?
No, I'm not
Sometimes, do you
saying
have
that.
a degree? Sometimes, do you have a
how
degree?
do I stay true on a course to the end and push myself through?
Do you have a degree?
Yeah, I do, ma'am.
In what?
In biochemistry.
What made you not stop in year 3?
I almost stopped.
So what made you keep going?
I had to complete the degree. I needed to make something out of my life, something meaningful.
So are you saying a degree just makes somebody's life meaningful like that?
No, not just that, but I knew it would help me to get opportunities and platforms. Of course, that's not the only thing that gives you opportunity and platforms. But I know that it was one of the ways to get there, and I was already on that path. So I just needed to complete what I had started.
You needed to. You had to. Somebody was standing with a gun outside the university, like, if you come out, we're going to shoot you.
No, man.
Eh?
No,
so you didn't
man.
have to. Were there people that dropped out in your school?
Yes, there were.
You didn't have to. You didn't need to. You should. Everybody who starts something should finish it, but you didn't have to. It was a choice. Yes, they were paying your fees, and it's what I'm supposed to do, but there was a choice. Because you relapse now in your mind. Many times you get like, I'm even tired, I don't want to again. Oh, did you not feel like that?
Yeah.
But the next morning you went back to class, you entered the exam hall. Why? You could have just missed that exam. Or all the exams. They'll be like, this semester I'm not doing. Self-sabotage could not stop you from coming out of your room. Wow. Sometimes rain will be funny, you will still show up. Is it because you love biochemistry? Biochemistry was the first love. You felt a passion. Is it because of that? So
no,
sometimes what those intruding thoughts do is that they want to lie to us to get us to believe what is false about us. Because something happens 3 times, 5 times does not make it a pattern. So you go on a treasure hunt. What have I completed before? Anything whatsoever, even if you completed it, doesn't even have to be school, whatever it is. You've had a relationship, a friendship that has lasted the last 10 years. You go back and say, it's not like I've been happy with this person every day. You've been in this church 5 years. Why? You've been in this place. This is why. Then you start to do like remove from it a framework of things that kept you going. I wanted to be this person's friend because we have the same mindset. I find that I challenge her, she challenges me too. I find that this, and I think it was because of these things that you begin to write, journal. Journaling is the most. It's like you teaching yourself, and for every quote that you see that really resonated with you, I want you to write about your own life. Thomas, remember, you're going to share that. So pick from your example and say, why did I complete this thing? It's because I knew that it was pivotal for my next level in life. Those projects you are on, are you just joining it? Or what was your why before? Was it strong enough? So I will give you all assignments, and then we will continue in the group. You have to give up something that's currently in your life to be able to complete this, or you have to put it on pause. So I want all of you to once you enter the group, this is what I'm going to put on hold. I'm going to put on hold my Netflix series. I'm going to put on hold this thing, something that frees up for you 1 hour a day. We will not be meeting 1 hour a day, but you'll be journaling 1 hour every day. These things were not formed in one day. They will not go away in one day.
True.
But they can go away faster the more intensely you work it. And think again about it. They happen when you were not even thinking. How much more when you were not deliberate?
Oh.
Damn, baby. So yeah, put them in the group and leave something you learned today. One thing. Every time you do one day, you pick, this is one thing that I'm going to be working on. I know Luakbo, is she here? I know Success said, not this Success here now, but the other Success said that she has asked you to add her to the group several times. And you said no. I know, is that not what you said? So I know I'm Bolu. Help Success, okay? Because the other Success is supposed to be here. Where did Temilolua go? Okay. All right. So
You're mute, ma. Oh, okay.
I hope that applies. Well, guess who has that decision? Which is owning your power.
Ma, you're mute.
I force you to drink. All right, my loves. Gotta go. I should have said no.
But we didn't
Someone
hear anything you said
waiting
last.
for me. Who is doing vote of thanks today? Bully does not have to be you. Nominate somebody. Who said something about my song?
Ma, we weren't hearing you. The last few sentences you made.
Oh, somebody was trying to call me. It's okay. I've heard me say many things. Oh my gosh.
Want to hear those closing remarks?
My goodness, Grace, can you believe this? They want me to talk even more. No, seriously, like I put guests on hold for you. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning so that I could finish cooking and doing everything so I could be here with you ladies.
Thank you, ma.
Self-sabotage does not mean autopilot. You work it. You work it. And because I know that you cannot afford one extra day of not being at par with the knowledge that you have. You cannot. You should not. You will not. Now you can say amen.
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 That means it's like I'm a comedian. It's okay. Let me come and be going. Well, who do you nominate? Nominate 2 people to give vote of thanks.
Okay, I nominate Lady Tess and
Everybody should say thank you, Margaret, by the way. Every single person say, Margaret, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Margaret. God bless you.
God bless
Thank you,
you.
God
Margaret.
bless you. Thank you very much.
Why are we thanking Margaret? Who knows?
I think I know. I think she was the one that asked the question about
Why are you
self-sabotage.
thinking it? What are you thinking about when you already even know? I think it's so cute. I think it's a knowing I might could have. Okay. So she should be one of them. Tess, you didn't say hello to me.
Hello, Mrs. V. I said hello.
What a soft voice that I was just missing out on. Who did I not say hello to today? I be today. I didn't hear your voice. Wow. Could it be? Anoluwa Tomiwo. What a beautiful name. Yeah, that's another thing. People are like, "Oh, my name is Bralade, but don't worry, you can call me Bra. If it's too hard for you, just call me B." But sometimes people just call me Babe, just anything because my name is really long. You will learn it. Bolu will correct you. I know who's saying it's not like that. You will learn it. I'm not going to sabotage myself because they gave me a beautiful Ijaw name, one of a kind. Okay, Tess, what were you saying?
No, I think Margaret just nominated me to give the closing remarks, a vote of thanks. I wasn't really saying anything.
Can you sense that she's Illy's friend just by her flows?
That's true. They are both lovely.
All right, I can't wait your carry on.
Okay, can I go on?
Yes, you can.
Okay, wow. Mrs. B, thank you so much for a phenomenal meeting with you. It has been amazing getting to know you and learn from you. Thank you so much for this meeting. Like I was just writing so much, so much on my notes, and it has been a defining moment for me. And I must say, I'm really grateful. Then, on behalf of we the leading ladies, we say thank you so much for this session, and we hope to put all we've learned to practice and become all we're meant to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, leading lady. Please don't
Remember
forget
to
to
put
join
in the group. If anybody does not respond the way they are supposed to respond in the group, you don't need to ask me. Did you hear?
Yes,
You don't
ma'am.
even need to ask me. It's not even punishment, it's freedom for you in keeping with what it is you want. Because it's
Yes,
what you want, subconsciously or consciously, that will be directing your actions. Feel free. I will not even question you. Oh, before we were 15, why are we 5 now? I won't even question you. I promise you. Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am.
I love you too, all of you.
Love you, ma. Have a wonderful afternoon. The rest of the day.
Did you take a screenshot for us so you can put it on our social media? Hanging out. That means like, look at my face. I'm a beauty. I'm a speck. I found,
Please, can we turn on our cameras?
Bully, you're fresh in today. Margaret, is this your beautiful face? Have you been hiding from me? Oh my gosh. Like close
Like
up
I have
advert.
someone here that is running up and down because she wants to join.
Is it to me? Is it that Stephanie should not join? Is it your sister, your other sister?
No,
I have a sister too that wants to join.
But you have been blocking her. No problem.
No, now
You have been blocking her. You're like, sister, I don't want to ask Miss B anything because my reputation is more important. I cannot hear no on your head. Because I must be sure she must agree before I ever ask her. Self-sabotage. Okay.
Okay, let's take the screenshot.
Oh, since we have not taken.
I'm waiting for this lady, the global gift.
The government gift. What's your name, darling?
My name is Ebotura.
Ebo. Why are the two of you wearing cap? Did we not get the memo? Grace, when we finish, go and on your light, yeah? Even though you're beautiful.